Is telepathy real? The shocking studies you need to know. Imagine a world where you could communicate with someone without uttering a single word, where thoughts, emotions, and ideas could flow directly from one mind to another, transcending the barriers of language and distance. This is the tantalizing promise of telepathy, a concept that has fascinated humanity for centuries. But is telepathy real, or is it merely a figment of our imagination, confined to the realms of science fiction? Telepathy has long been a subject of intrigue, appearing in ancient myths, religious texts, and the pages of countless novels. The idea of mind-to-mind communication strikes at the core of our deepest desires, to truly connect with others, to share our innermost thoughts, and to transcend the limitations of the spoken word. But beyond the allure of this concept lies a serious scientific inquiry. Could telepathy be more than just a fantastical notion? Could there be evidence that suggests it is a real phenomenon? In this exploration, we will dive into the mysterious world of telepathy, examining the most compelling studies and scientific debates that have sought to answer the question, is telepathy real? The origins of telepathy, a historical perspective. The idea of telepathy is not new. It has been present in human culture for millennia, often intertwined with spiritual and religious beliefs. In ancient times, shamans, mystics, and prophets were believed to possess the ability to communicate with gods, spirits, or other humans through non-physical means. Telepathic communication was seen as a divine gift, a connection to a higher realm of existence. The term telepathy itself was coined in the late 19th century by Frederick W. H. Myers, a founder of the Society for Psychical Research, SPR, in England. Myers and his colleagues were part of a growing movement to explore the paranormal and investigate claims of psychic phenomena, including telepathy. These early researchers were driven by the desire to understand the mind's potential, challenging the boundaries of what was considered possible. As the scientific method became more established, the study of telepathy shifted from anecdotal accounts to controlled experiments. Researchers began to conduct rigorous tests to determine whether telepathic communication could be demonstrated under laboratory conditions. But as we shall see, the results were anything but straightforward. The first telepathy experiments, from seances to science. In the late 19th and early 20th centuries, a wave of interest in spiritualism swept across Europe and America. Seances, where mediums claimed to communicate with the dead, became a popular pastime. Amid this fervor, scientists began to question whether there was a rational explanation for the seemingly supernatural phenomena being reported. One of the first significant attempts to study telepathy scientifically was conducted by the SPR. Researchers such as Myers, Henry Sidgwick, and Edmund Gurney sought to investigate reports of telepathic communication between individuals, often using simple card-guessing experiments. Participants would attempt to send the image of a card to another person, who would then try to identify it. While the results of these early experiments were mixed, they laid the groundwork for future research. Some studies reported statistically significant results that suggested the possibility of telepathic communication, while others failed to replicate these findings, leading to ongoing debate. The most famous of these early experiments were conducted by Dr. J.B. Rhine at Duke University in the 1930s. Rhine's work, which involved the use of Zener cards, a set of cards with 5 distinct symbols, sought to test telepathy, clairvoyance, and other forms of extrasensory perception, ESP. Rhine's experiments produced results that he claimed were statistically significant, leading him to argue that telepathy was a genuine phenomenon. However, Rhine's work was met with skepticism by many in the scientific community. Critics pointed out flaws in the experimental design, the possibility of sensory leakage, where participants might inadvertently receive cues, and the lack of consistent replication. Despite the controversy, Rhine's research sparked a renewed interest in the study of telepathy and ESP, inspiring further investigations in the decades that followed. The Stargate Project, government interest in telepathy. The intrigue surrounding telepathy wasn't limited to academic circles. During the Cold War, both the United States and the Soviet Union became interested in the potential military applications of psychic phenomena, including telepathy. This interest culminated in the creation of the Stargate Project, a secret U.S. government program aimed at investigating the potential of remote viewing, a form of ESP where individuals claim to perceive distant locations or objects without any physical means. The Stargate Project, which ran from the 1970s to the 1990s, involved a series of experiments designed to test the abilities of individuals who claimed to have psychic powers. Remote viewers were asked to describe locations or objects hidden from their physical senses, often under controlled conditions. While the results of the Stargate Project were mixed, with some participants producing seemingly accurate descriptions, the program ultimately concluded that the evidence for telepathy and other psychic phenomena was not strong enough to warrant further investigation. The project was officially terminated in 1995, and the final report concluded that remote viewing had not been proven to be reliable or useful for military purposes. However, the very existence of the Stargate Project underscores the fact that telepathy and related phenomena were taken seriously enough to merit government funding and investigation. The tantalizing possibility that the human mind might possess untapped powers continues to inspire curiosity and debate. The Ganzfeld experiments, a glimmer of hope. In the 1970s and 1980s, a new wave of telepathy research emerged, led by parapsychologists seeking to address the methodological criticisms of earlier studies. One of the most prominent approaches was the Ganzfeld experiment, a technique designed to create a sensory-deprived environment that would enhance the likelihood of telepathic communication. In a typical Ganzfeld experiment, a sender and a receiver are placed in separate rooms. The receiver is placed in a relaxed, meditative state, often with halved ping-pong balls covering their eyes and white noise played through headphones. The sender is shown a randomly selected image or video and attempts to mentally send this information to the receiver. After the session, the receiver is presented with several images and asked to identify the one that most closely matches their mental impressions. Proponents of the Ganzfeld experiments claim that they produced statistically significant results, suggesting that telepathic communication was occurring at a level beyond chance. However, these findings were also met with skepticism. Critics argued that the experiments were susceptible to subtle cues, sensory leakage, and experimenter bias. Attempts to replicate the results in independent studies yielded mixed outcomes, with some experiments producing positive results and others failing to do so. Despite the controversy, the Ganzfeld experiments remain one of the most cited pieces of evidence in favor of telepathy. They offer a glimmer of hope that telepathy might be real, but they also highlight the challenges of studying such an elusive phenomenon. Quantum entanglement, a new frontier. As our understanding of physics has advanced, some researchers have looked to quantum mechanics for possible explanations of telepathy. Quantum entanglement, a phenomenon where particles become interconnected in such a way that the state of one particle instantly influences the state of another, regardless of the distance between them, has been proposed as a potential mechanism for telepathic communication. The idea is that if human brains or consciousness could somehow become entangled, they might be able to share information instantaneously, transcending the limitations of space and time. This concept, while intriguing, is highly speculative and remains on the fringes of mainstream science. One of the challenges of linking telepathy to quantum entanglement is that quantum effects are typically observed at the level of subatomic particles, not at the macroscopic scale of human brains. Additionally, there is currently no empirical evidence to support the idea that human consciousness can become entangled in the quantum sense. Nevertheless, the exploration of quantum entanglement as a potential explanation for telepathy underscores the enduring fascination with this phenomenon. It also highlights the lengths to which some researchers are willing to go in their quest to understand the mysteries of the mind. The skeptical view, challenges, and criticisms. While the idea of telepathy captures the imagination, it is important to recognize the significant challenges and criticisms that have been raised against its existence. One of the primary objections is the lack of a plausible mechanism by which telepathy could occur. Without a clear understanding of how thoughts or information could be transmitted from one mind to another without a physical medium, many scientists remain skeptical of telepathy's existence. Moreover, The history of telepathy research is littered with examples of flawed experiments, unreplicable results, and instances of fraud. Some researchers have been caught faking data, while others have been accused of allowing biases and wishful thinking to cloud their judgment. These issues have led many in the scientific community to view telepathy as a pseudoscience, lacking the rigorous standards required for empirical validation. Another significant challenge is the role of chance and statistical anomalies. In many telepathy experiments, the results are close to what might be expected by random guessing. This raises the possibility that positive findings could be the result of chance, rather than genuine telepathic communication. Despite these challenges, there are those who continue to argue that telepathy deserves serious scientific consideration. They point to the intriguing results of certain studies, the consistency of anecdotal reports across cultures and history, and the possibility that current scientific models may be too limited to fully explain the phenomenon. The call to action: keep an open mind. So, where does this leave us? Is telepathy real, or is it simply a product of human imagination and desire? The truth is, we do not yet have a definitive answer. The evidence for telepathy is tantalizing but inconclusive, leaving the door open for further exploration. What is clear is that the study of telepathy touches on some of the deepest questions about the nature of the human mind and the universe. It challenges us to consider the limits of our understanding and to remain open to the possibility that there may be more to reality than what we currently comprehend. For those who are intrigued by the possibility of telepathy, the call to action is clear. Stay curious. Continue to explore the mysteries of the mind and consciousness. Engage with the latest research in psychology, neuroscience, and quantum physics. And most importantly, keep an open mind. The journey of discovery is a path that requires both skepticism and imagination. It demands that we question our assumptions while remaining open to new possibilities. Whether telepathy is ultimately proven to be real or not, the exploration of this phenomenon offers valuable insights into the complexities of human perception, belief, and the pursuit of knowledge. Conclusion: the enigma of telepathy. As we stand at the intersection of science and mystery, telepathy remains one of the great enigmas of our time. It is a phenomenon that challenges the boundaries of what we know and invites us to consider the potential of the human mind. Whether telepathy is a reality waiting to be discovered or a captivating illusion, it serves as a reminder of the vastness of the unknown and the enduring power of curiosity. So what do you think? Could telepathy be real, or is it destined to remain in the realm of fiction and fantasy? The answer, it seems, is still out there, waiting for those who are willing to explore the uncharted territories of the mind. What are your thoughts? Is telepathy within the realm of possibility, or are we chasing shadows in the dark? The quest for understanding continues, and the future of telepathy remains an open question. If you find this video interesting, please like, comment, and share with your friends, family, and relatives who may find this fascinating. Please subscribe for more such interesting content. Thanks for watching.